was curious about this recording. I mean, this is it'd be tough for me to keep up with this. Just this skill and the playing and everything. But man, these things are not easy to play, right? Or maybe
No,
easy for you.
yeah, no, not so easy. And that's the great thing about the band; they can play anything. That's why they are my band, because they can switch from ACDC to Tom Jones, for instance,
Yeah.
or David Gilmour. They're great musicians, all of them.
Yeah.
And as I say, we've been together 10 years, and we ain't going to stop now. So
Yeah. Well, you played with all those greats that you mentioned, and so many more. And what are the ones that people ask about your time with the most?
you in an interview or something, or
Yes.
fans?
Mhm.
Fans always ask
Well,
for
I
ACDC or
guess
something.
either one, really.
Yeah, it's the fans that always, there's more ACDC fans than anything out there,
Yes.
Well, at least they admit to being ACDC fans.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want to admit to be Pink Floyd fans. I don't know. That's just politics again.
That's true.
Um, so, we, the band, just love playing music. And
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing all my life since I was about 13, actually. So
Yes.
I was 16 when I turned professional. And that's all I know. I'm no good at
Yeah.
snooker. Well, you don't even know what snooker is, maybe in the States. I
No.
don't know. Or basketball, never was
Yeah.
any good at that.
Well, and that's amazing too, because I mean, you were playing with Tom Jones, way back when, and when it's not unusual was considered dangerous for him, right?
Dangerous.
Yeah, or risky for him.
I don't know about that, but it was this big song,
Yeah.
and he's thank God he's kept going ever since. He's still going today. He's 88 years old now,
Yeah.
and he's still doing an album and singing songs, and his voice is just as good. His top range has gone a bit. That's all, um, and that's the only difference. His baritone is first class
Yeah.
because he's that age. Um,
Oh yeah.
so he's always worked through, and so have I.
Mhm.
I've never stopped, or hardly ever stopped, except for the times we had to. You know,
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
little band called ACDC got in the way a
Yep.
couple of years, 15 and 16. Um, and of course, Timeline wasn't formed in when I joined in '98 for about 3 to 5 years. So we just love being on the road. We were in Paris just last weekend,
Yes.
and we've been in Poland a couple of months ago. We're going to Italy in a couple of weeks. All over Europe. We've always worked all over Europe, which is
Hmm.
fantastic because the crowds are really appreciative
Hmm.
everywhere you go. And so it's always fantastic. They always have a great night. Every show. We've never had a bad show. And,
Yeah.
and it's true. Neither of ACDC. They've never had a bad show.
Yeah.
Um, and they've always been on time, and so have we. They've always
Hmm.
gone on stage on time, even with Axl Rose.
Yeah. That's right. Oh, that's amazing. That in itself is a rare feat.
Yeah, it certainly is. He said when he was with Guns N' Roses, he said on stage once between his Guns N' Roses songs, he said, with ACDC, I went to boot camp and they
Mhm.
told me, if you screw up, you get the boot.
Oh, I love that. Well, people ask about ACDC all the time. Would you say is your definitive memory? Because, well, for me, it was I was in the audience in Philadelphia during the Money Talks video, so I still have some of those Angus dollars.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. That was I thought it was a little bit personally thought that song was a bit poppy, to be
yeah,
honest, for ACDC, but it's a good song nevertheless.
yeah,
And the secret to the success actually is, in my opinion, is they play pop songs, but very heavy.
yeah, yeah.
So it's
That's
got
true.
hooks, it's got choruses, it's got all sorts in it. So they're old-fashioned writers, but in a modern way. You know,
Yeah,
that's just my personal take on it.
yeah. And that was a fun time being during that run, right?
Yes, yes. I remember doing that video. Was it Philadelphia? Was it? I knew it was
Yes,
somewhere
that's right. Yeah,
East Coast. Yeah. Ah,
yeah.
I used
But
to
I mean,
play that a lot with Manfred Mann's Earth Band when I was in Earth Band. We
that's
used to
right.
go there all the time.
Yeah,
What was the name of the stadium there?
that was the Spectrum.
The Spectrum. That's it. Yeah, we
Yes.
used to play it 3 times a year sometimes.
Yes.
Uh, so it was good for us, Philadelphia Spectrum.
Yeah.
Um, so
But
it's
but
the
the
sort
time
of
it,
thing I'm used to doing. So people say to me, "What's it like playing in front of 80,000 people?" The same as playing in front of 8,000 people or 8 people. To be honest,
hmm
um, you always do your best show, no matter how many people in the audience. Oh, I can't go on tonight. There's only 50,000 people there. Can't be bothered tonight. Uh, that don't happen.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
only half
exactly.
sold out. Oh, what a shame. How many people does it fill? Oh, 100,000. Oh, no, it's fine. We'll go on anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and you've always made it look like so much fun, and people have been looking up on that stage and for years and years now and going, "That's what I want to do." And so, what kind of advice do you give to people that want to follow in your footsteps?
God, yeah. Um, don't for us. This business is a minefield. Um,
Yes.
it is a terrible business. It really is. When you're down, knock it down further.
Yeah.
It's true. They try to anyway. They being, they. Um,
Yes.
um, so it takes a lot of dedication, honestly. And you got to know your stuff, your craft inside out. Um, and you got to have rhino hide because people will always say to you, "You're crap. You're just crap." I don't know why you got sticks in your hand. You're just crap. And
Mhm.
you've got to rise above that personally and go, well, I'm not the greatest drummer in the world, but I'm okay. Go away. You have to do that. There's a song on this album, actually, on
Yeah.
Timescape, Believe in Yourself.
Mhm.
And that's what you have to do. Uh, and the story to that song is, believe in yourself. Don't believe anybody else because they'll come up and say, you are just rubbish. And if they
Yeah.
don't say it to your face, which is very rare, they say it, online or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So you got to have rhino hide.
Yeah, I love that. And my co-host Drew Pearson was one of our great Dallas Cowboys. Caught the Hail Mary, went in the Hall of Fame, and of course, we love to ask people their Hail Mary moment, which is that moment in your life or career where you just had to go for it and it worked out for you. What do you suppose that was for you?
I didn't quite understand that question. I'm sorry.
Oh, sure. Was there a moment in your life or career where you just had to go for it and it worked out for you?
Oh, right at the very beginning, actually, because I was working in a shoe shop
Mm-hmm.
on weekends and to get some money, I still didn't have a paying job. playing drums. And the guitarist of what was then Tom Jones's backing band came in. Tom's name then was Tommy Scott.
Yes.
He became Tom Jones. And I sort of took my life in my hands because this guy was like 25 and I was 16, you know. And I said, I know you're Mike Roberts, and I'm a drummer. I live by Tom. I heard you haven't got a drummer anymore. It was actually the night before that one of the shop assistants told me that they'd sacked their drummer last night. So I was pre-armed with the question. So I said, and I did live by Tom. We were half a mile from each other. I didn't know Tom. My father and my brother did, but I'd never seen him because I was 16. He was in his 20s. That's in those days, especially. That was huge, the difference, the age difference. And so that's when I went, go for it, mate. And I did. Yeah. And I'm glad I did because I've been playing drums ever since.
I love that. That's so amazing. And part of that is that success mindset that you have to have. And we talk about that on the show. Is there something that you keep in mind that keeps you on the right path even when things are tough?
No, not a specific thing, but it's back to that believe in yourself. If you don't have that self-belief, you ain't going to get anywhere, whether you're a tennis player or football player or whatever. If you don't believe that you are good enough to be where you are right now, you're dead. Sorry, but you are. Yeah, that includes everybody, in any job. So you must have that self-belief, and that's what that song is all about, believe in yourself.
Yeah. Is there another song that's a big highlight for you that you can't wait for everybody to hear?
Time Flies, actually.
Yeah.
I haven't had any reviews yet about it. But had friends say, that's great, I love that. But never, the friends aren't going to say, that's crap, Slade. So I'm waiting for somebody, because it's not out until, although there are previews out there. You might have had one yourself, I'm not sure.
Yes.
Good. But nobody, no paying public have heard it yet. Yes. And I put them together, Time Flies and End of Eternity. That's the last two songs on the originals side. I put it together the way I did, and I called it Timescape, which is the title of the album. Mm-hmm. And it's the same song actually, but one's an instrumental and one is a song. And I put every production idea I could think of into that song. So I indulged myself immensely, and it was very satisfying. Time Flies. Yes. And then I always, with my songs, I always demo them vocally for our singers, because we have two singers. Yes. Bun Davis and Stevie G. And Bun Davis is like the ACDC singer, but he has a good other voice as well. So he sings on Sundance. And Stevie G, and he also plays bass, Stevie. So, he sings the other stuff, the Uriah Heep stuff, and the all the rest of it, Bruce Springsteen stuff, Tom Jones, all that. It's a very varied show that we do, but it is the history of rock and roll, to be honest. Yeah. So right from the 60s through. So, through to now. Mm-hmm. So, it's a very interesting show to me. And we play for 2 hours and nobody complains. They only
Yes.
complain when we say, this is the last song.
Yes.
And then they scream like hell, which is good because I take that as they want another one.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And then of course, will we get we got to know, will we get this show in the US, because we need some good rock and roll over here.
I'd love to play the States. I've been coming there all my life
Oh yeah.
since early 60s. I've got a green card. Unfortunately, the other guys in the band don't have a green card,
Mm.
so they're reliant on visas. So I don't know. There's always has been horror stories about visas for bands. The visas sometimes turn up 2 months after they're supposed to finish the tour.
Mm-hmm.
So it's difficult. But
Yeah.
the rest of the world, I'm looking forward to playing. I've been playing. I've been Brazil playing and
Yeah.
all over the States and Mexico and of course just about everywhere.
Yeah.
Russia and I saw a friend of mine in Los Angeles, a singer called Cherry Luz. He,
Yes.
oh, you know him? He,
Oh yes.
he,
XYZ.
nice guy, good friend.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Hey Slade, do you realize they pay us to travel?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yes, you're right, Cherry, you're right." And it's true. I love traveling. Always have,
Mhm.
always will. I don't like flying too much.
No.
But I'm not afraid of it, but I just don't like it. The
Yeah.
security these days and all the rest of it
Oh
is
yeah.
just awful. 2 hours, you know, before the flight is just
Oh yes.
too
It's too
much, as
much.
far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Unless you're going a long way, We went to Poland, we drove in a van,
Oh
with
wow.
the equipment.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
and that's the way we roll, if you like.
Yeah.
Um, we do it the old-fashioned way.
I love that. Well, as long as it's still fun, it's worth doing, right?
Oh, it's still fun.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, we can still talk to each other after all this time.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
um, Phil Campbell, Motorhead.
Yes, of
We were
course.
born in the same place, same village. So was Tom Jones, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And he said when he first joined Motorhead, they got on the bus and they talked for hours and hours and hours and hours. And he said that was good for the first couple of weeks. Then after that, we just stared at each other.
Yeah, well, and then you go out to ACDC and you've got all kinds of separate vans and all kinds of stuff. So you probably don't even see each other as much, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. Do you have a definitive ACDC memory, one that just sticks out to you that's always like, that was a good time?
Ah, I'm just trying to think. It's always difficult. I'm sure
Yeah.
you find that people often cannot come up with definitive moments.
Oh
I remember
yes.
once we were at the Grammys with ACDC, which was 2016, I think. No, 2015, because that was my first gig was the Grammys.
Oh
And I
gosh.
said, I said to the manager, "How many people are watching this on TV?" He said, "I think it's like 800 million or something." I said, "What?" He said, "Oh, no, it's okay. It's only 80 million." I said, "Oh, that's much better. I can handle that."
And just go forth and rock. I love it, and you're still doing it. And so, one of the last things that what are we going to hear on the set list? So it's a complete timeline of everything that you've done, right?
Yep, it's a mishmash of everything. Well put
Uh,
together, I must add, by myself, of course.
yes.
And, because you got to pace things, you got to know where to put things. And I've been doing that all my life. So, getting a set list together. And it's hard to make it an hour and a half instead of 2 hours. We have to sometimes for festivals. because they go, oh, I'm sorry, you can only get hour and a half, you know. And so we got to cut it down. That's so difficult because
Yeah.
I want to get the band across, you know, give everybody a fair share, fair crack of the whip, and entertain the people.
Mhm.
And they're taking half an hour out of it sometimes, and it's like, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's so hard to know what to take out where.
Mhm.
So you know, it's more of the same after, you know, now. It's
Yeah.
and we'll be putting a few of these songs in the set, like we'll definitely do Sundance
Yes.
live, and we'll definitely do Time Flies
Good.
live.
Good.
So oh, that's what I was going to say about that, because I usually demo my songs and give them to the singers, but on this one, everybody agreed, including the band, all of them, that I should the demo version that was done by me should be the definitive recorded version. Now, I've
Hmm.
never thought of being a singer in my life, you know. When you work with Tom Jones and Paul Rodgers, you know, why would you possibly think of being a singer yourself, you know?
That's right.
So, you know, I've always stepped back, although I've always sung vocal backing when
Yes.
it's needed. I wish I'd sung with ACDC, actually, vocal backing.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they don't like a guy with a drummer with a microphone. You know,
Yeah.
they're sort of old fashioned like that. You know, they wouldn't want Phil Collins playing for them. You know,
Right.
Phil's a great drummer, by the way.
He is. He's amazing.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Yes. And a
Oh,
great
that's so, of
writer, too, of course. I'm
course. Yeah.
telling, you know, everybody knows that now.
Yeah.
Of course, they didn't when he was, you know, first in Genesis.
That's right. That's yeah, that's it's so good, and we're so grateful for you and for all the great music that you brought us over the years. And so it sounds like we're gonna have to go to check out one of your shows overseas, which sounds okay to me. But for now, we're gonna tell everybody to check out the music that's coming to them, which is fantastic. So thank
Well,
you so
thank
much
you.
for your time.
And yes, that's at the moment, that's the way to access
Yes,
timeline.
yes,
So thanks for that.
absolutely. Well, we definitely appreciate it and look forward to talking to you again and seeing you live up on stage.
Yeah, anytime.